A leaked dealership memo exposed 10 scams that cost buyers an average of $8,700 per car. Dealerships sent cease and desist letters trying to bury this information. In the next 10 minutes, you'll learn all 10 scams and exactly how to beat them. Hit subscribe now because this video keeps getting flagged. So here's how this works. That 2022 Honda Accord listed on their website for $18,995. It doesn't exist. Not anymore. It's sold just this morning, or it's at another location, or there's unexpected mechanical issues. This isn't bad luck. This is strategy. According to internal advertising guidelines obtained from a dealership training portal, dealers are instructed to keep attraction units on their website for 48 to 72 hours after they sell specifically to generate foot traffic. The document literally states, once the customer is present, the switching cost is minimal. They've invested time and created emotional commitment to the purchase process. And what that means in English, once you drove 40 minutes to see that car, you're not leaving empty-handed. You'll look at something else, something more expensive. And this works because of a psychological principle called the sunk cost fallacy, where people justify bad decisions by the time they've already invested. The average markup difference between the advertised bait car and the vehicle they actually sell you, $2,340. But I can't show you scam number 7 yet, the big one, because first you need to understand scam number 3. This is the setup that makes everything else possible. Now, scam number 2 is where the dealer takes 4 separate negotiations: vehicle price, trade-in value, down payment, and monthly payment, and deliberately tangles them together on one sheet of paper. It looks like this. They draw 4 boxes and the salesperson controls what you focus on. Internal training materials from a major dealer group state this exactly. The 4 square allows you to give in one box while taking in another. Customer focused on monthly payment? Lower it by $30 while simultaneously reducing trade value by $2,000. They win the battle, you win the war. Here's a real example. A buyer in Michigan thought they negotiated their payment from $520 down to $470. Victory. Right? Wrong. When the paperwork was reviewed later, the dealer had dropped their trade-in value from $8,000 to $5,200, extended the loan from 60 to 72 months, and added $118.95 in protection packages. The buyer saved $50 per month and lost $6,800 in total value. This happens because the human brain can only focus on one number at a time, and dealers exploit that limitation ruthlessly. So scam number 3 is the psychological trap that makes you actually defend the dealer's pricing, and it's called extreme anchoring. Here's how this plays out. You walk in interested in a $28,000 SUV. The salesperson immediately shows you the $44,000 loaded model, shows you every feature, lets you sit in it, smell the leather, feel the heated steering wheel, then almost reluctantly they bring you back to the $28,000 model, and suddenly that $28,000 vehicle feels like a penalty box. It feels cheap, and when they offer you the $32,500 mid-tier model, your brain perceives it as a compromise, a smart middle ground. But here's the catch. You came in wanting to spend $28,000. Now you're spending $32,500 and you feel like you won the negotiation. A leaked training video from a dealership in Texas puts it this way. Show them the dream so the reality feels like failure, then rescue them with the upsell. The average overspend caused by this tactic? $3,800 above the buyer's original budget. And this is just the setup for scam number 5, which is where they bury the real profit in paperwork. But before we get there, let's talk about scam number 4. Scam number 4 is pure performance art, and it's called the manager approval dance. You negotiate a price with the salesperson. They walk to the back office, they return. Looking defeated. My manager says we just can't do that. We're already losing money on this deal. But they show you a worksheet with numbers, cost breakdowns, dealer invoice. Here's what that training manual doesn't want you to know. That invoice price they're showing you, it's fiction. Dealers receive holdbacks, incentives, and manufacturer rebates that never appear on that sheet. According to automotive industry analyst reports, the actual dealer cost is typically 3 to 7% below the invoice price they show you. That $31,000 invoice actually cost them $28,400. But more importantly, that manager, they never said no. In a leaked audio recording from a dealership training session, a sales manager explains the first walk back is theater. Always come back with a no. Make them feel like they pushed you to the absolute edge. Then when you give them $500 off, they feel like they won. The time wasted in this fake negotiation serves another purpose too. It creates fatigue. The longer you're there, the more likely you are to just say yes to make it stop. We're gonna get to scam number 7 in just a minute, the rate markup scheme that costs $3,200 on average. But first we need to cover scam number 5 because this is where they hide the money. Scam number 5 because this is where they hide the money. So scam number 5 is what's called the fee stack, and it happens in the final paperwork stage. You've agreed on a price, let's say $30,000. You're exhausted from 3 hours of negotiation. Then the finance person slides over a purchase order, and buried in 47 lines of text are these fees. Documentation fee, $799. Vehicle prep fee, $495. Market adjustment, $1,200. Nitrogen tire fill, $149. VIN etching, $299. Fabric protection, $399. Total added, $3,340 an hour. Some of these are negotiable, some are pure profit. None are required by law except government fees. But here's the scam within the scam. According to consumer protection filings, many dealers will negotiate the vehicle price down dramatically, making you feel like you got a great deal, then inflate the fees to recover that discount. You negotiated $2,000 off the car price? They just added $2,400 in fees. An internal memo from a dealership chain in Florida explicitly states, fees are less emotionally charged than vehicle price. Buyers will fight over $500 on the car, but accept $2,500 in fees without question. And the paperwork is deliberately designed to prevent scrutiny. Small font, long documents, time pressure. We're about to close, so we need to finalize this now. By the time you notice, you've already signed. Scam number 6 targets your trade-in, and it's called the intentional undervaluation cycle. Here's the pattern. You know your car is worth $12,000 because you check KBB and Edmunds. The dealer offers you $8,500. You counter with $11,000. They talk to their manager and come back with $9,200. You feel like you're making progress, but here's what's really happening. According to wholesale auction data, that dealer knows your car will sell at auction for $2,800 minimum. They're offering you $9,200, which is a $1,600 profit margin just on your trade. But it gets worse. While you're focused on fighting for trade-in value, they're quietly adding it to the purchase price of the new car. A training document from a national dealer group says this: give them $500 more on trade while adding a $4,200 to the purchase price. Reframe it as, we found additional value in your trade that allows us to make this deal work. Customer perceives win. Profit increases $700. The average amount buyers lose on trade-in manipulation, $1,847. And this feeds directly into scam number 7, which we're about to cover, because this is where the real money gets extracted. So this is scam number 7, and this is the one that dealership finance departments absolutely do not want you to understand, because this single tactic generates billions in profit annually. It's called rate spread or rate markup, and here's exactly how it works. The bank approves you for 6.5% APR, that's your buy rate, but the dealer is legally allowed to mark up that rate in some states by 2 to 3% without disclosing it to you, so they tell you you're approved at 8.9% APR. Let me break down the actual numbers. You're financing a $35,000 vehicle for 72 months. At 6.5%, your actual approved rate, your monthly payment is $590. At 8.9%, what they tell you, your payment is $638, that's $48 per month extra. Over 72 months, that's $3,456 in additional interest. The dealer gets a percentage of that markup, typically 20 to 40%. So they just made $691 to month 382 years for literally doing nothing except not telling you the truth. According to a study by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, this practice costs consumers $1.1 billion per year. And here's the darkest part. This disproportionately affects minorities and people with lower credit scores who are less likely to question the rate they're offered. A landmark lawsuit against Ally Financial revealed that African American borrowers were charged 2x the markup rate compared to white borrowers with identical credit profiles. The internal training materials are explicit about this. One document states, rate spread is your primary back-end profit center. If customer declines all F&I products, recover margin through rate. Most buyers don't know their buy rate and won't ask. Most buyers don't ask, but you're going to, and in exactly 3 minutes, you'll get the exact phrase that forces them to disclose it. Scam number 8 is the extended warranty pressure pitch, and it's built entirely on manufactured fear. Here's how the script goes, word for word from training materials. Mr. Customer, I know you're excited about your new vehicle, but let me ask you something. Do you have $4,500 in your savings account right now for when the transmission fails? Because these modern transmissions are basically computers, and when they go, they're not $500 anymore. They're $4,500 to $6,000. This is called catastrophizing, and it's deliberate psychological manipulation. The finance manager is trained to identify your anxiety triggers. Got kids? What happens if this breaks down with your children in the car on the highway? Tight budget? A single repair could cost more than 3 months of payments. Can you afford that? But here's what they don't tell you. According to Consumer Reports analysis, the average person pays $1,800 for an extended warranty and makes claims totaling $800. The warranty itself is marked up 300% from the actual cost. That $1,400 warranty, the dealer bought it for $800 and is pocketing $1,600. And most factory warranties already cover the expensive components for 5 years, 60,000 miles anyway. The training materials are shameless about this. One section reads, "Sell the emotion of protection, not the logic of coverage. Fear closes more warranties than features." The average amount wasted on unnecessary extended warranties? $1,350 per vehicle. Now scam. Number 9 is specifically designed to trap the educated buyer, the person who thinks they're too smart to get scammed, and it's called the qualified buyer asterisk. You see a car advertised online for $24,195. Great price. You call to confirm. Yes, that price is available. You drive down, you sit in the office, then they slide over paperwork showing $27,190. Wait, the website said $24,195. Oh, that's the internet price for qualified buyers only. I'm qualified. I have good credit. Yes, but the internet price requires $3,000 down, financing through our lender, a trade-in vehicle, and enrollment in 3 protection products. Without those, it's $27,190. None of those qualifications were mentioned in the ad. According to FTC complaint data, this bait and switch tactic generates over 18,000 consumer complaints annually. The fine print is deliberately hidden or requires clicking through multiple pages to find. And here's the real scam. Even if you meet all those qualifications, they'll find a reason why this specific vehicle doesn't qualify. Oh, this unit came from a different allocation. This one has additional miles. This one was classified as premium inventory. The average price difference between advertised and actual out-the-door price using this tactic, $2,847. And by the time you discover this, you've invested hours and you're emotionally committed to the purchase. Which brings us to scam number 10, and this is the one that ties everything together. So scam number 10 is what's called payment packing, and it's the final profit extraction that happens in the finance office. Here's how it works. You've agreed on a monthly payment, let's say $425. The finance manager says, "Great, let me just finalize everything." They leave, they come back. Okay, we're all set at $438 per month. Wait, I said $425. Right, but we had to add the mandatory documentation fee, and there's a small difference in the interest rate from what we initially discussed. Plus, the registration came in higher than expected, but we're only talking about $13 per month. That's basically lunch twice a month. But here's what really happened. They added gap insurance, $895, an extended warranty, $1,695, a maintenance plan, $2,200, paint protection, $599, and key replacement, $299. Total add-ons, $4,688. Spread over 72 months, that's $65 per month. But they also lowered your down payment from $3,000 to $800, which added $31 per month and extended the term from 66 months to 72 months. They present it as $13 more per month, but you're actually paying $4,288 more total for products you never agreed to, and your loan is now longer and requires less money down, which means you're underwater on the vehicle from day one. The training manual obtained from a dealership group literally coaches finance managers on this. Never discuss total price, only monthly payment, add products silently. If challenged, minimize the per month increase, and emphasize convenience of single payment. Most customers will sign, and they're right. According to industry data, 73% of buyers don't catch payment packing when it's presented this way.